want to do a video about project scheduling, and I want to explain this is great for the owners and for the contractors to understand, called CPM scheduling, which is critical path method. So traditionally, depending on how detailed you break out the schedule could have 100 activities, it could have 500 activities, it could have 1,000 activities. But let's just say a 500 activity schedule. And of those 500 activities, not every single one of those activities is critical to be done on their start and finish date that would affect the actual finish date of the project. So of the 500 activities, 100 of those activities may be what's called on the critical path. And so if an activity is on the critical path, if it slips by a day, your project finish slips by a day. But there could be 400 of those other activities that actually have something called float. And they have different levels of float. One of them can have 1 day of float, one of them can have 5 days of float, one of them could have 10 or 15 days of float. What that means is it could start on a Monday or it could start on a Friday, and it does not matter which one of those days it starts on. It is not going to affect the end of your project date. So builders traditionally know this, and they concentrate on the critical path items as being their highest priority items. Now, float items, if they don't eventually get done, they will move onto the critical path and they become critical. So let me kind of give some examples of this. Traditionally on a house, the outside of the house finishes well before the inside. Let's just say 45 days beforehand. So that those outside activities, let's say it starts with like the veneer of the house, brick, those activities have 45 days of float where they could get done anytime within that 45 days and you'd be fine for move in. They don't affect it all. And so most of the time when this happens, your builder is concentrating on things of the inside, such as has the tile been picked out, have the cabinets been picked out, has the paint color been selected yet, etc. Because he knows those things affect the end. And when a builder has numerous projects and houses going on, he's usually thinking about the critical path on all of his homes. And so this has become an issue for me in the past when I have an homeowner show up and be like, well, why didn't the brick mason show up today? And I know the brick mason is eventually going to get done. He wants to get paid, but I'm not concentrating on whether or not he misses a day or not, because I know I have float. If I finish that outside of that house, the brick, the driveway, the plants, the sod, etc., 45 days before the owner gets ready to move in, then I've got to worry about somebody, driving off the driveway and they get into the sod. Now I got to fix that. Is the sod being watered? Are the plants in and are animals eating the plants? And now I've got to replace those, etc. And so there's some strategy there that your builder has as well. And so he's not going to be focused as much on the float items or low priority. Yeah, they got to eventually get done, but they're not high priority. The high priority items are the ones on the critical path that if they slip, your whole project slips. And so you want your builder to know what those critical path items are, and you want him to be concentrating. And if you're supposed to be picking out something that's on the critical path, Mr. Owner, you need to make sure those things have been selected so they get ordered in time so that you don't affect the end date of your home. And that's construction critical path method.